Welcome into Zennial Media Mixtape. It's quite a mouthful. I'm Catherine, and this is probably the first video you're watching on here because the few other videos I've done have not done well. We're just gonna put that right out there. So it's been a while. I conceived of the idea for this channel a while back, and I thought it would be fun, and then it just didn't really go, and I kind of gave up on it for a while, I'll admit. But I'm back because I have a project, and you probably already see that from the title, but I'm calling it the Storybook Project. It was originally the Princess Project. It started, I do a lot of cross stitch. I have a whole other channel devoted to that. You probably really won't see much of that here. I'll leave it tagged down below if you are someone who's interested in that. But it started with some cross stitch patterns. 12 of the Disney princesses in like a winter scene. 12 different patterns and 12 different princesses. And it just sort of kept going from there, but mostly in the cross stitching. I got other patterns, and it eventually expanded out to 24 Disney characters. I mean, I can't really say they're princesses because a lot of them aren't really classified as that, even if they're not official. Alice, things like that. But anyway, then this year I kind of came up with an expansion on that, which is where this channel comes in. Because this year, I'm going to be reading and watching and doing some studying, all in the vein of those characters, one each month. So I was planning on doing videos to talk about some of the things, well, pretty much try to cover most of the stuff that I'm working on. So I'll put my list up of this year. So 24 characters, but 22 movies, because I have Wendy and Tinkerbell, obviously in the same movie, Anna and Elsa in the same movie. So one a month, taking December off, 2 years. I know it's crazy. It's, I can't do small things. It just always starts like, and it gets bigger and bigger. And then suddenly it's this monstrous project. And I'm like, well, I guess we'll see how this goes. Whee! But anyway, so I'm going to put up here the 11 ones I'm doing this year. And we're going to be starting with Snow White that I've already started a little bit here in January. My plan is to kind of do a short explainer video at the beginning of the month and give you my list of what I'm reading and watching, so that if you do want to follow along in any capacity, you can. So I'll have that down in the description box for Snow White, all the movies I'm planning on watching, the books I'm planning on reading, and if you want to check any of those out, you're welcome to. I will say some of the movies you may not be able to watch unless you're really dedicated. Because I have a number of movies that are not streaming, not on digital at all. They're not available to rent, to buy. Some of them, even the DVDs or Blu-rays are out of print. I've spent a lot of time on eBay. I try to get them through legal means as much as I possibly can. Some stuff is on YouTube, and if I just really can't find it any other way. Especially some of the old cartoons, they just don't really exist in any other way. Especially, I've got some things from the 30s. Yeah, you're just not going to find those anywhere. Even if they're in the public domain, it doesn't necessarily mean that anyone's going to bother to put them online. Or if you can figure out where they are. I've done some digging to find movies before and found them in odd places. I'm not really one to go to pirate websites. I get too paranoid about viruses. Plus I don't care for that if I can avoid it. I will admit I've gotten the odd DVD or so off of eBay, but only because there's just like no other option. It's definitely not my go-to. I have a lot of movies. I have a lot of TV shows. I order stuff from overseas if I have to. Which is why I have a region-free 4K player. Yeah, which some of you who may be more savvy know that most 4Ks aren't region locked like Blu-rays and DVDs are, but to not have to have a second player, I got a 4K region-free one. So then I can play on my Blu-rays and DVDs and not have to have a separate 4K player. It wasn't really that much more expensive. Anyway, moving on from that. So, Snow White. I found some really interesting stuff. I found some old stuff. The Disney movie is one of the oldest things. I actually did find a Betty Boop cartoon that was slightly older, so that's interesting. And then I've just tried to find stuff from different eras and kind of like different interpretations. That's sort of the goal of my project, is to look at the original story, if there is one. There's a few that aren't necessarily based on stuff, and I've kind of got other ideas for them. But to look at the older story, see the other interpretations of it, what other people have done with the story, how they've adapted it. I've started one of the books, and it's a trip. I can't wait to talk about that one. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot I'm going to be covering. Those are probably going to be pretty long videos. I'm going to try to make them pretty nicely edited and everything. Right now, I'm using my iPhone. I don't have a super fancy iPhone. I mean, it's not a pro or anything, but I think it's fine, at least for now. Maybe I'll invest in a better camera if more than 12 people watch these videos. I don't know. I'm not fussing about it too much. I've tried before to really go hard on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm just gonna have fun with it now. This is just sort of my passion project. If only like 10 people watch it, well, it's fine, because I'm mostly doing it for me. So, watching, reading. I'm also incorporating studying an art movement. I think I'm doing Baroque art for Snow White, because that was something that was popular around the time when the story came out. And I've tried to pick out different ones for each of those, so I'm doing that. I'm trying to do some art, like drawing princesses. I really need to get on that. The first of the year has been a little, you know how it is, New Year's and holidays, and so I'll talk about the movies, I'll talk about the books, probably show some of the art, talk about the art style or art period that I'm studying. I'm also doing crafting projects, like mostly cross stitch and everything. That I probably won't talk about on these videos. If you are interested in that, like I said, I'll have a link to my cross stitch channel. I'm the Storyteller Stitcher, and you can check those out if that is so inclined, but I didn't feel like it made a lot of sense to put them on these videos, because these are going to be more for people who are interested in the media side of it, obviously. I also have sort of an enrichment project each month. I tried to find something that related to the story, the character, that was sort of for me to work on myself. So for Snow White, I'm trying to go and visit more parks in my area, go do walks and nature, and I'll try to document some of that and incorporate that into these videos. We'll see. I've got other ideas. I've got ideas for nearly all of them. The one I'm struggling with is Wendy and Tinkerbell. I just don't know what to do for that one. I don't know. And if somebody tells me to like go bungee jumping or jump out of a plane or something like that, no, we're not doing that. No. So racking my brain. If you have some ideas of some sort of like activity or project or something I could do that kind of incorporates into the whole Peter Pan thing that doesn't involve flying through the air, then sure. please leave a comment down below. I'm looking for inspiration because I am just blanking on that. I don't know what I really don't know. Other than that, yeah, I think that's about all. I will put down in the description box a full list of the books I'm reading and the movies I'm going to be watching. If you want to find, some of them are available online, like a lot of them. A good app for that is Just Watch. You can use it online on a computer, or you can get their app on your phone. It's a really easy way to look up things and find out where they're available, or it'll give you the available nowhere. Because I have been getting a lot of that. So much of that. It's like, oh, this looks interesting. The miniseries, those are the hardest. I found a very interesting one called Alice, of course, for Alice in Wonderland, and it has Tim Curry in it as the Cheshire Cat, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. It was like Sci-Fi Channel one from 2009, I want to say. Yeah, that is nowhere. That is not available anywhere, and it looks like the discs are out of print. I found it on eBay. It wasn't super expensive. It wasn't cheap. I had to get the DVD because the Blu-ray was pretty expensive. I think it started at like $40-something and just went up from there. And I'm like, I don't even know if I like this yet. I can't spend that kind of money on it. That is always kind of the trade-off of like, do I really want to, how much do I want to see this thing? Like, not bad. So that's coming in the mail for me. I've been trying to get all my stuff for the first 3 months. So Snow White, Giselle from Enchanted, and Alice. Yeah. I have a lengthy list. And there is no way I could cover all the Alice stuff. Wow, there's a lot of those. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in March. Yeah. So I'll put up the list again of the princesses that I'm doing this year. So yeah, I'm doing like half of them this year and half of them next year. And then after that, I don't know, I might expand to do other stories because, you know, you've got lots of other fairy tales and stuff, and I find that kind of fun. This was just sort of a grouping that I already had, and it kind of worked out, you know, so I'm trying this out. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see if it's interesting to anybody. I don't know. I've talked to a few people. It may just be my relatives watching this. That's fine. I don't get to see them that much, so hello. Other than that, I think that's about it. I think that's a good intro. I don't want to make this video super long, although it's probably a little bit long. And the longer videos will be me talking about everything. I hope that I'll see you back here for that. If you are interested in this whole project, definitely hit the subscribe button so you can find me again. It makes it easier. Yeah, I'm also on Instagram. I don't know if I'm really gonna post on there or not. I haven't decided what to do with Instagram this year. I'm kind of, I don't know, they keep pushing short form video, and I don't really want to do short form video. Pictures, sure, but I don't know. How's everybody else feeling about social media? Because I don't feel great. I'm not here for it. Okay, so I think that's about it, and I hope I'll see you in my next video. It should, I'll probably be doing a little intro video at the beginning of February, and then sometime a little bit later into February, I'll release my video about Snow White, because I want to give myself some time to film things, to really go through it and edit it and stuff. I often don't do a ton of editing, but I want to, you know, try to kind of up the bar for these if I can. We'll see. And see you next time.